Hey all, Pokemon Legend Master here with a new video for everyone to enjoy. This time it's myself against Tungst. I start off with a Noctowl, kind of unusual for me, but whatever. He goes ahead and uses Eevee. This is a blend of UU, NU, and OU. I think there's no Ubers here, if I remember correctly. Anyway, I start off with a Hypnosis, putting Eevee to sleep. A very nice move on my part, giving my Noctowl a great advantage. So he switches just to get the Hypnosis Pokemon out, and he goes for Arcanine. Now, Arcanine has one nice move here that I kind of knew he had, but I figured Noctowl had kind of finished up as a good lead, so I Air Slash, do some decent damage. He goes for a T-Fang. Hits, does surprisingly not all that much damage, considering what it is, really. I get enough, I'm faster than him, and I get to hit him with another Air Slash. I hope for the flinch. It doesn't happen, and so he gets to T-Fang me again, bringing down Noctowl. So, 1 down, and 5 to go for him. However, to be frank, I wasn't too worried here. Noctowl fought well, and I felt pretty confident so far. So I go ahead and bring out Gengar next. Good move for me. And he switches out with his Arcanine for his Lantern. Now, Lantern's a good Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but against an OU Gengar who's armed with Shadow Ball, not such a good move. Shadow Ball just destroys Lantern's health, brings it down to just past halfway, so he switches out again. And he goes for the move he probably should have done, honestly, before then. Brings out Staraptor. Staraptor gets to go ahead and drop my attack. Not a big deal. And while my Gengar could fight this enemy and Staraptor, I decide to just Confuse Ray it and switch out. Confuse Ray connects, and he goes ahead and hits himself. Very helpful for me. Confuse Ray makes him lose about, I'd say an eighth of his health. And I go for Scissor, figuring it'd be a great time to set up and sweep with Scissor. Unfortunately, I don't get to do that, and he switches out for Arcanine, or Typhlosion. And of course, seeing what Scissor is, I just withdraw. Scissor can't do anything against the Typhlosion. So I go for Gallade, hoping for a Gallade sweep instead, because he's got great special defense and awesome attack. His Lava Plume hits, and it's a crit. Gets me with the crit, so I'm down to 28 HP, easily KO'd by his next move, since he's faster than me. Gallade goes down, doing absolutely nothing. Yeah, that worked out really well. Anyhow, I bring out my own Typhlosion and decide to see how well it goes. Mine's faster than his, and I get to hit it with an Eruption, which, typically speaking, a fire move against a fire type shouldn't do all that much damage. However, it does some decent damage, about a quarter of his health, and he goes ahead and goes for the Rock Smash. I'm not sure why I had Rock Smash, but whatever. Rock Smash does a little bit of damage, not a lot, and so he decides to switch out because his Rock Smash is doing absolutely nothing, and he decides to go for a Pokemon that I have a weakness to. Unfortunately, my Eruption's power is quite impressive, and so Lantern takes a really hefty hit from that, bringing him down to red, and it's too slow to actually be able to hit me, and so I go ahead and hit it with a final Eruption, bringing Lantern down. Now, I realize a lot of people are probably going to say, why didn't you just hit it with a Flamethrower or Overheat or something? Well, I could have, but I figured that because Typhlosion's going to get hit here shortly anyway, might as well use Eruption while I can. Besides, if he had switched, it would have been better to hit him with an Eruption anyway. He brings in Arcanine, gets the Intimidate off, which is useless because this is special attack-based Typhlosion, and switches. Don't ask me what that was about. I have no idea. Maybe he misclicked. And he brings out Entei. I chose Eruption, which means with the pressure, the Eruption's power points are completely drained, so I'm done erupting at him. So maybe that's what he was after, I don't know. But anyway, the Eruption hits, gets the crit, knocking Entei down into Flamethrower kill range. And so Flamethrower finishes off Entei very nicely, might I add. And brings me a step closer to ending this battle. He goes ahead and brings out Staraptor again. Gets another Intimidate off. Very useless when facing Typhlosion. At least this one. I go ahead and hit it with a Flamethrower. Yes, I know Typhlosion can learn Thunder Punch. I just have been lazy with this Typhlosion and haven't taught it yet. And because of that, Staraptor manages to survive, gets up into the sky. Now, this is actually kind of a relaxed match, so it doesn't matter what we do, but I figured I'd try to stay with competitive roles. So I waste a smoke screen. He hits me with Fly. Does some really hefty damage with Fly. And if he had Quick Attack as well, I probably would have been in a lot of trouble. Dropped to 6 HP. Puts me in Blaze territory, and Flamethrower finishes off Staraptor. You know, I really don't understand why a lot of people underestimate Typhlosion. Its special attack is high enough that whenever it hits you with a fire move, it's going to hurt. And it's got great speed, so you can't really outspeed it very often. So it can do a lot of damage, especially if you use it right. Anyway, I hit it with a Flamethrower, bringing it down to almost knockout. If I had taken the time to actually create a Pokemon that could put Stealth Rocks up, I probably would have knocked it out, but whatever. This team was just for the fun of it. No real serious battling or anything. So Typhlosion finally goes down after a great little sweep. Get to bring Gengar back out, his evil little grin, and finishes off Arcanine with a Shadow Ball. Gets a useless crit. Yes, if you're wondering about this team, no, it's not effort value trained. It was just some Pokemon I used during the actual gameplay itself, main storyline. So I hit it with a Confuse Ray, getting Typhlosion confused. I love my Gengar being so fast. And it's kind of weird because I really didn't work on making him fast. It just kind of happened. Guess I fought the right Pokemon. Anyway, he hits himself in confusion. I get a Shadow Ball him, dropping him down and almost knocking him out. Dropping his special defense too. Kind of useless, but whatever. But because he's in Blaze territory and snapping out of confusion, he does a huge amount of damage with his Lava Plume. Which, if it wouldn't have been as bulky as it was, I probably would have lost Gengar right there. But I get a Shadow Ball it, finishing off his Typhlosion. And leaves him just with his Eevee, I believe. I think that's all he's got left. Yeah, just his sleeping Eevee. So I get to go ahead and use my final move over and over, finishing off Eevee, Dream Eater. And I know no one uses it nowadays because it's kind of hard to use and kind of useless compared to others, but it's fun, especially if you're not really serious about the battles. And it's always fun to be able to Dream Eater at the very end of a match. So I Dream Eater, finishing off Eevee, who did absolutely nothing this battle. And that ends it. Good game, Tungst. I enjoyed it, and hope to have many more, and perhaps even a Eevee trained team. Later, guys.